Okay, so welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the new features of iTunes U. Just for some of you that I haven't met before, my name is Sarah Whitaker. I'm Senior Project Manager for Mobile Learning Professional Development here at the Higher Colleges of Technology. I'm also an Apple Distinguished Educator and an Apple Education Trainer as well. Just a few reminders before we start with the webinar. Just please keep your audio on mute throughout the webinar unless there is a question that you need to ask. But first, can you ask the question in the chat room? My colleague Christine will be there answering those questions. And if she sees anything that she can't answer herself, she'll let me know and or we'll talk about it at the very end of the webinar. Okay, just be aware that the session will be recorded and it will be posted online afterwards. I do mute your faces, so if anybody comes up, so don't worry, no faces are shown, but just be aware your voices will be recorded. You can find the recording in the iTunes U EdTech webinar course afterwards. So if you have not registered for that course, it's a free iTunes U course that you can take with me. And any webinars that we do, we always post the videos there. As well, the presentations are posted there as well. So this presentation will be there, usually on Sunday, the Sunday after the webinar. Okay, so today's webinar, we're going to be reviewing just a quick overview of iTunes U from the student and teacher's perspective, because I've understood some of you are not really familiar with iTunes U, so we'll just give a quick overview. We're going to look at using the assignment submission feature, so this is a new feature for iTunes U, grading your students' work and giving them feedback, also creating and using discussion boards, and adding collaborators to your course, okay? In this webinar, due to time limits, we won't review all the features of iTunes U. It's just not possible in 30 minutes. We're not going to review how to create or manage an iTunes U course, okay? And we're not going to be looking at the differences between the various learning management systems. We're just focusing on iTunes U today, okay? Just a few notes about iTunes requirements for students. Now, if you're going to be using iTunes U with your students and you want them to enroll in a course, they need to first, they need an Apple ID in their own name because you need to see their name. So they can't use their brothers or sisters or mothers or father's Apple ID. They need to use their own Apple ID. They also need an iOS device. So an iOS device means iPad or iPhone. You cannot access iTunes U on a MacBook or a PC in a student's view. Teachers can, but students can't. They also need to have the iTunes U app, the latest version 3.1, if they want to submit assignments, okay? Okay, again, note, students can't access an iTunes U course from a MacBook or PC. There's been a little bit of confusion today about that, so I just want to make sure everybody understands. For the iTunes U example course, for those who did not receive my message today, basically just open up iTunes U. In the all courses, you can tap the little plus button, and this is for anybody who's watching this video afterwards. It's an unlimited enrollment, so you can enroll in the course for yourself right now as well. Tap on Enroll in a Course, okay? And then type in enroll code DZCRCEBRD and tap OK. There's no need to use the dash, and any case is accepted. Now, this is the enroll code for this example course, and as many of you noticed today, I sent out an email with a link. So you can choose two ways. You can send your students the link to the course, or you can just simply give them the enroll code to use. And then you'll get this little confirmation window and you just tap agree and you're enrolled in the course, okay? Teachers have access to restrict enrollment so that you have to approve enrollment. This course is open, so once you tap agree, you should have access to the course, okay? Okay, and again, I'm just gonna remind everybody to please tap or click on mute. Somebody is not on mute. I can hear the background noise of the college. So I'm just going to go out of this screen and I'm going to give you a quick overview of the iTunes course. So I'm just going to mute everybody, mute all. Okay, there we go. So you can see my iPad here, and I'm just in the first screen of the course. So I'm just going to tap on library. So when you open up iTunes U on your iPad, you'll see all of your courses are here. And you just tap on the course that you want to enter. You'll also notice all of these little red numbers. The red numbers means that there are posts there that I have not read. So in this example iTunes U course, you can see there's 4 posts that I have not read yet. So just tap on the course. And if it's your first time opening up the course, it usually opens up in the overview window. So you get an overview of the course, who the instructor is, the department, example, description. Then you can tap on instructor to get more information about the instructor. And you can tap on the outline. Now, every iTunes U course has to have an outline, and these are where your themes are, basically, your topics for your course. And in each topic, you put your posts. Your posts are your instructions to the students. Now, to access your course or your posts, you can do this 2 ways. You can tap on outline, or you can tap on posts on the very bottom. So if you're in the outline area and you want to see assignments, you just tap on assignments and it will bring you to that topic, assignments. Or here at the very bottom, you can tap on posts and it will bring you to the same page. Now you can view all posts, and you'll notice here that little 4 again. Remember, there are more than 4 posts in this course, but it's just showing me that there's 4 posts that I have not read yet. So this is a way for your students to manage and see if they have any new information that they need to check on. Okay, or I can view posts by topic. So introduction, assignments, discussions. These are my topics in this course. Okay, here I have example post 1, and it's just the first post to say, welcome to the course. This is an example course, and to give you some information about courses. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the posts with you. This is for you to go through afterwards. I've given you more information that I'm going to be able to give to you in this 30-minute webinar today. So take your time to go through the course after the webinar to review all of the information that I provide for you. One post that I do want to go through thoroughly, though, is the example post 2, affiliating your Apple ID. Now, as a teacher at the higher colleges of technology, you have a choice to affiliate your Apple ID with HCT. Now, this doesn't mean that HCT is going to have access to your Apple ID or anything. It just means that you are saying, yes, I work for HCT, and HCT is saying, yes, they work for HCT, and giving you an option to have an affiliated account. That means when you create courses in iTunes U, you connect them to the Higher Colleges of Technology iTunes U catalog. It is still private, these courses. They're not on the public iTunes U course catalog. This is a separate thing in iTunes U. These are private courses between you and your students. HCT doesn't have access to those courses, but you get some benefits for being affiliated with HCT. Some of those benefits are an unlimited number of courses. So if you have affiliation, you can have as many courses as you want in your iTunes U catalog. If you are not affiliated, you only get about 12 courses. You can also have unlimited number of students in your course. If you're not affiliated, you only get 50 students. And also you have unlimited storage space. If you're not affiliated, you only get 20 gigabytes. So it is actually beneficial if you are going to be using iTunes U with your students to be affiliated with the HCT iTunes U catalog. Some of the things that you need to do to become affiliated, first, your Apple ID needs to be in your name, cannot be in your family member's name or even your nickname. It has to be in your name that you use with HCT. You need to use your HCT email address, and you need to be connected to the UAE store. So it cannot be connected to UK or Australia or Canada or some other country. So it has to be connected to the UAE store. If you fulfill all of these 3 requirements, then you can just send an email to Azim and he will affiliate your account for you. If you need help changing any of these 3 requirements, I've given you 3 assignments here that you can do. So how to create a new Apple ID if that's necessary, how to change your Apple ID email address if you already have an Apple ID that you want to continue using, and how to change your iTunes store to the UAE. Okay, so we're just going to go on to the next assignment, or next topic, which is assignments. I'm just going to, again, mute all. Okay, so There are 3 different ways that you can have your students submit assignments. You can have them submit an assignment and just say, or not even submit assignments, sorry. There's 3 ways that you can give your students assignments. You can just tell them, I want you to do this, and send them off and have them do that. There's a second way that you want them to do that and submit their work to you. And then the third way, please do this, submit it, and I will give you a grade. Okay, so the first one is example post 3 assignment. And you can see here I've given you 2 assignments in this post. I asked you to review the features of iTunes U, and if you tap on that, there's a web link that you can see here, and you just tap on it and the students will be brought to that site. Okay, I'm just going to go back. And then there's also learn about photos on your iPad. And this is actually an iBook that I'm asking you to please read this chapter of the iBook. So if you tap on that, it will open up that chapter in iBooks for you. Now you can see here from earlier, I've already created a note. So I've given myself a note. I've just tapped on from and added a note. And the great thing about iTunes U now is if you make a note in that iBook and you tap on notes in your iTunes U, you'll see that note is here. And then my note is very simple. This is my note, just to give you an example. Okay, so your iBooks are connected to your iTunes U course as long as you've given it to your students through that iTunes U course. Okay, second assignment is assignment with submission. And this you can practice yourself as a student. So you can submit your picture assignment to me if you would like. And basically here it is. I've already submitted my assignment. So first you can see here that I've given my students a little message saying, I'm still waiting for your photo submission. Now I'm using both of the same Apple ID. So you'll see Sarah Whitaker, Sarah Whitaker. Usually you'll see Sarah Whitaker, the first one is the teacher. That's in, okay, the orange, and then Sarah Whitaker as the student. You can see here I've given 2 submissions, okay? And there's no grades for this. So the teacher is just asking the student to please send me your work. And the teacher here has given an example photo. So this is just the example photo that I gave to my students, okay? So if you want to submit from your iTunes U course, it's very easy for the students. They just tap on this attachment. And here they have the option to take a photo or video. They have the option to go to their photo library, or they have the option to use iCloud Drive. Now, when they use iCloud Drive, they'll have the option for iMovie, Keynote, Numbers, and Pages. For them to see this and use this option, they need to have iCloud Drive turned on. If they don't have it turned on, they're not going to be able to use this option, and they won't see their documents there because it's not being saved into iCloud. It's being saved only on their device. But that's not a problem. They can still use it. I'll just show you the other way to do it in a minute, okay? So that's just basically assignment submissions. Now I'm going to open up the teacher's view so you can see what it looks like from the teacher's side. So I'm going to go into my course example iTunes U course, and now I'm doing this through my browser. And you can do this on a PC or MacBook. It doesn't matter as long as you have a browser. And you can also do this for teachers on an iPad as well. I'm just showing it to you because it's easier to switch between the computer and the iPad. Okay, so I'm just going to click on admin here on the bottom right-hand side, and you'll see here grades. Okay, so I'm just going to click on grades, and you'll see here, submit your picture assignment. So you'll notice here there's no points, and here there are 100 points. So the next assignment I'm grading. So I'm just going to go down. Here's the student, Sarah Whitaker, that's me. And I'm going to click onto that. And I can see here on the iPad, it will open up directly. And on the computer, I just click onto it and it will download for me. Okay, and then I'll be able to see the submission here. I can write comments to my students and say thank you very much and send it, okay? And she'll see the comment from me there, okay? I can also, if they've already submitted something for points, I'm just going to show you what that looks like here. I can click, and here is the submission. I can download it, I can view, and I can send her a little comment saying, please submit this again, or here's my feedback on your writing, submit it again for second draft or third draft, or I can go directly up here and click grade. And I think she did a great job because she did exactly what I asked her to do, which was upload iWorks file. I can also give a message here saying great job. And I can now save the draft. So if I don't want to give her the grade right away, I want to give them all at the same time, I can save it, or I can send now. And I'm just going to send now, but so she can see it. Okay. And I'm just going to click done. So now you can see here, 100 points for her. And here, there's no points because it's a submission without grades. Okay. And so far right now, she has 100%. Now, I can also view with the other students who has viewed the assignment and who has not viewed the assignment yet. So this is a great feature for the teachers to say, okay, you haven't even viewed the assignment yet. You don't know what you need to do. Please view the assignment and let me know if you need any help. Okay, so from the teacher side, the gradebook is very, very, very easy to use. So let me just open up again. I'm going to minimize that. The student's view. So I'm back in the student's view. Okay. And I'm going to show you what it looks like from the student's view if I tap on the assignment. And I should see my teacher's comments there. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go to the next assignment. This was the assignment with grades. And I asked the students to upload your iWork file assignment here. And I'm going to go there and I can see my grade and I can see the comment from my teacher. Okay. And I can write another comment back. So basically, the grading feature in iTunes U is like a private discussion between you and your student. Okay? Just take a second to mute all again. Okay. So it is basically a private discussion. Anything that your student submits here is not viewable by the other students, and anything that you say to the students, to your student here, is not viewable by the other students as well. Now, again, remember that I said that you can attach your work here if you're connected to the iCloud Drive. If you're not, there's a second option where your students can upload assignments directly from their Pages, Keynote, Numbers, or iMovie file. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is go into the file that you would like. So I'm going to go into my Pages file. This is the file that I would like to submit. And you're just going to tap on Share and open in another app. You're going to choose the format. I'm going to keep it as Pages. And choose your app. I'm going to copy to iTunes U. And here you can choose the course that you want to copy it to. Now, just a note, this is the exact same thing if a teacher wants to share something from their iPad to their students as well. So if you are grading your students' work or making notes in Pages, so you've downloaded your students' Pages file, you're making some notes and some comments on the student's file, and now you want to send that student back their Pages file, you can do that directly from your iPad, and they can see exactly all the annotations or all of the comments that you've made in the Pages file or the Keynote or the Numbers. And you can either post that to the whole class, or you can post that specifically to a student and in a specific assignment. So you're going to do the exact same thing that I'm doing here. Just from the teacher's perspective, you get to choose the students as well, not just choose the assignment. So I'm going to choose example iTunes U course. And here I just need to choose my assignment, and it was upload your iWork file assignment. So I'm going to choose that assignment. Make sure the submit as hand in is on. It doesn't change anything. It just says that this is my final, the teacher will see it no matter what, but this is just to say to the teacher, this is my final copy draft. I can add a message to my instructor if I would like, or to my student, and tap send. Okay, it will take a second, it will go through, and then it will say, you handed in your document today at 10:21 a.m., and I can tap OK, or I can tap View. And if I tap View, it will open up the iTunes U course for me again, and you can see I've submitted it again. Okay, so again, you can see assignments, very, very easy and very useful for us. Having the iWorks files, so Pages, Keynote, Numbers, connected directly to your iTunes U and having it so easy for students to submit, I think is a big game changer for iTunes U. Now, again, you'll notice here that I'm tapped into the Assignments tab here, if you could see that. So I can view all of the assignments that my teacher has given to me. Okay, they're all viewed here, and they're all organized by the topic. So by introduction, assignments, iTunes U overview, or conclusion. Okay, so it's easy for your students to stay organized and for your students to know what they need to do throughout the whole course. Now, the other thing that is new for us in iTunes U is discussions. So here, just directly underneath the assignments, you can see discussions. So you can see discussions here, or you can see the discussions directly in the post. So you can have a general discussion where you can start it here, and you just tap start, and my discussion is the topic. And I'm just going to say, what should we discuss? And send. And now that's showing that it's a general discussion. It's a general discussion for the whole course. If you look at the discussion directly underneath, you'll notice that it's discussions, and it's an example post 6 discussion. So this is the instructor, Sarah, asking, where the one above is Sarah, the student. So if you tap on discussions here in the topic posts, and you tap on example post 6 discussions, you can see here is my discussion. And if I tap on that, I can see that a few people have already added to the discussion board. So we have, what other topics would you like to see as a webinar this academic year? And one of them is connecting iTunes U with Blackboard, most recent effective iPad educational apps. And I can just tap here, and I can also add a reply. Now, I'm just going to show you the teacher's side of view of that. So you can see my teacher's view. So I'm just going to go to posts, and I'm going to go to discussions. Now, as a teacher, I have a lot more control. So I can decide who's going to, which posts I can delete, or which posts I can hide, or I can email the author. So if I don't like this post here, I can just basically hide the reply. So only I see it, nobody else can see it. So the teacher can moderate the post. I can also hide the discussion completely or delete my discussion topic, okay? So the teacher has control over the discussion boards, and it is the teacher's responsibility to moderate. Now, one question that I have had in the past is, can you turn off the ability for students to create discussions? No, you can't. The students can always create a discussion board, and they can create it in any of the posts. It's a way for the students to ask questions to the teacher or to ask questions between themselves. Unfortunately, there are no private discussions between the students, and that is obviously for privacy issues and to make sure that everything is being moderated by the teacher. At this point, there are no group discussion options either, so it's whole class discussions only, okay? So, just going to minimize that. Okay, so discussion is a great tool. I think also another game changer for iTunes U, a lot more flexibility. Now, for you as students, I've given you 2 more posts here that you can review. Again, we don't have time today. We only have a few minutes left to go through how to create and manage iTunes U courses. So I have given you some information in example post 7, course guidelines. So you can review all of this information if you'd like online. We also have a course part of the EdTech framework called M106 Creating iTunes U Courses. And if you are interested in taking this course at any point, just send me an email and I can arrange coming to your campus to give that course to a group of teachers there. Also, we have recommended iTunes U courses. There's 2. There's iPads in the classroom. So if you're new to starting with using iPads, I do recommend that you go through that course. It is a differentiated learning experience, so you don't need to do the whole course. You can just do the pieces that of information that you're missing. And we do have the EdTech webinars course as well. So anytime we have one of these webinars, we post the video online there afterwards. The last thing that I'm going to share with you today is from the teacher's perspective, another new feature that I think is really great with the iTunes U, and that is, I'm just going to go to it in here, is having multiple teachers on one course. So you can have collaborators. So you can add up to 5 collaborators to help you develop the course. Now, collaborators can help you manage the course and add content to the course, but they don't have full rights to the course. They don't have ownership. And it's very easy to add a collaborator. You can click the course owner is responsible for activity in the course. You can just click OK. And then you just click in and the Apple ID. So you just need to know your fellow teacher's Apple ID. This is another reason why we ask you to use your HCT email address, because then we already know what your Apple ID should be. And then you just click invite here. Now you can transfer ownership to one of your collaborators if you are leaving HCT or you're moving away from that course and starting to teach a different course. You can transfer ownership, but to do this, you both need to be affiliated with the same institute. So you both need to be part of the HCT affiliation. If you're not, then you cannot transfer ownership. This is with affiliated courses only, okay? So that is the great thing. So 6 teachers, 1 course, a fantastic way to collaborate with your colleagues. Okay, so the last little thing I'm just going to say is thank you very much for watching this webinar, and I would really appreciate it if you could fill out this webinar survey. If you have not enrolled in the iTunes U course, don't worry, I will send it out by email directly after the webinar. And I will be posting the webinar presentation here as well as into the EdTech webinar course. Okay, so at this point, I'll just say thank you again and ask if there's any questions. And Christine, maybe you can say if there's...
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Sarah, I do have one technical issue that if you can resolve it at the end. I don't know if anyone else is having it, but one person is having trouble actually seeing the submission icons.
If they cannot see the submission icons on iTunes U, then they either have 2 things wrong. One, they have not updated. First, they have not updated their iTunes U app. But first, they need to check and make sure that they have updated their iPad to 9.1. It needs to be the operating system, and then they need to update their iTunes U. The third issue that they could be having is what type of iPad do they have? It cannot be iPad 2. It has to be iPad Air or higher.
iPad Air or higher, that could be.
Yeah, I will find out specifically which iPad. I believe it's iPad Air or higher. I can find out and send that to everybody. But the iPad 2s will not have the submission option.
That's important.
Hello.
I have Air.
Hello.
I'm just going to ask if somebody is not speaking, can you just mute yourself, because it's just difficult to hear in the background. Go ahead with the question. I think it's Duncan.
Yeah, that was me. I was battling with Christine there. So yeah, on my iOS is updated. The iTunes U app is up to date. It must be the iPad. I think it's an old iPad.
Yeah, if it's iPad 2, is it a really thick iPad? It's hard to tell over online.
The original launch.
Yeah, you need to, if it's from the original launch, then you need to update.
Okay.
you need to upgrade.
So nothing's working there. Discussions aren't showing up.
It won't show up on the iPad 2s for sure. You have if you're in the original, you have an original from iPad 2 era.
Used to request an upgrade.
I'm going for it. iPad Pro. Putting in my request.
Put your request in for iPad Pro for sure.
Go for it.
Okay.
Let us know if you get it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
I have a question.
Jim, yeah?
As a teacher, I can use to access the course, my course.
Sorry, can you say it again?
If I have a PC, can I access my course?
Yes, you can.
How can I do that?
You just go to, I've sent the link, but if you're not using iPad, it's just, you go to, if you Google iTunes U Course Manager.
Okay.
Then you'll be able to access your course, but only the courses where you're a teacher. You won't be able to access the courses where you're a student. Students can only access through an iPad or an iPhone, okay? As well, teachers can edit their courses on an iPad. So if you have your iPad and you're in your course and you decide, oh, I forgot to send this or post this to the students, you can do that immediately on your iPad. Unfortunately, at the moment, you cannot do that on your iPhone. You can edit your courses on your iPhone, only on your iPad. I have requested to Apple, though, begging them to please update your app on the iPhone as well to allow us to do it on the iPhone as well. But
Okay.
right now, teachers can edit their courses on a MacBook, a PC, or their iPad.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, any other questions? No, if you have questions, you can, and you're registered in the course, you can put them in the discussion board, or you can send me an email and I can answer any questions that way as well. Okay.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.